Hey, it's Beth here. I'm feeling better. I just went to a elementary school business program. They were selling products. It was very cute. Put me in a good mood. So I wanted to get grandparents ready for Christmas. Okay. The elf on the shelf is still a very big deal. Kids believe in it. Fourth graders. Seriously. What people don't like about it is that it teaches children that being spied upon is just fine. Which, okay. What parents really don't like about it is that you can't touch the elf. And if you do touch the elf, the only way to give him his power back to go rat on you every night at the North Pole is to pour cinnamon on him. Cinnamon stains. Cinnamon is horrible. It gets into tiny little places, and when water gets on it, it spreads like wildfire. Of all the things, why it couldn't have been sugar, I don't know. Parents, so this is a big problem for parents. They're finding cinnamon stains which are brown and unexplainable. Brown and yellow stains are just stay away. Okay? That's why nobody ever uses curry. That's why nobody ever uses turmeric. It's because of the stains. Under your fingernails, anywhere. And then water, and it's a goner. Your clothes are dead. So, things are turning brown in all kinds of little homes all across America because of this dumb cinnamon thing. You're going to hear about it. I'm telling you, you are going to hear about it. The way you can tell that your elf has moved. When he moves, he leaves a little bit of snow. And the snow turns into water. So people are leaving little tiny specks of water the next morning. So kids can find it. So they can be sure that the elf has ratted on them during the day. And the elf is not kind. Some of these kids get really scared about this. I would too. So they look for him every day, try to figure out where he is, so they can do whatever they want to do in the other room. Okay? Not good. I wanted to know how the origin happened. It's kind of cute. Some woman in Tennessee, her children went to college. She had 2 twin daughters. And she suffered severely from the emptiness syndrome. Her beautiful daughters came home from college, Shanna and Krista. And they said, Mom, we need to turn your elf into a book. We could become famous and rich. And I'll do it with you, Mom. We can do it as a threesome. It'll be a project for the 3 of us. All you have to do is come up with the money and do the book yourself and sell it, self-publish and sell it. And we will be right by your side when you're successful and very wealthy. And we'll go on television shows with you. And the girls said, our biggest, Mom, do all the work, do everything. And then when we get the biggest win of all, the Macy's Day Parade. Well, it only took 4 years for the Macy's Day Parade people to come to them, and they wanted to give them a float. The mother was delirious. The girls were like, no. We'll settle for a float for 2 years, and then we want a balloon. Macy's float people said, man, these girls drive a hard bargain, but you work so hard on it. And the girl said, yeah, we did. We had to tell our mother to do it. Okay. They got their balloon and they were happy. That's how it got started. Okay. The Elsa sensation. I have seen little girls. I've seen Elsa parties. 2, 3, 4-year-old little girls. Insane about Elsa. Many, many years after that movie came out, like 10 years ago. New generations, little girls in this tiny age group, went and found some scholarly papers on why. Yes, they have them on this Elsa sensation. Okay, so what it is those little tiny girls and boys, and don't be afraid if your boy wants to do it. It doesn't mean anything about their sexual identity. It's that Elsa has gotten in trouble with her dad and mom 100 times. for being herself, just like every little 3-year-old. They have no frontal lobe. They have no impulse control. They're constantly getting in trouble for things that the parents think are easy, like sit down, like don't touch that. Elsa, when she says let it go, no right, no wrong, no rules for me, it's the battle cry of your toddler. That's why they have tantrums. They're so embarrassed. They're so mad that they can't sit still. They know it looks stupid, and they can't stand the way you look at them. And Elsa's dad really gives her some looks. So this battle cry song and dress is their fight back from all of you parents who don't really understand what it's like to be 3. You cannot not eat that cookie. So Elsa with let it go, that's why. And they wear the gown and they feel powerful, just like a little boy in Spider-Man outfits. But Spider-Man doesn't appeal to 3-year-olds. Only Elsa, only Disney character ever. Moana doesn't. Nobody gets in as much trouble for being herself as Elsa does. So she's going to get through it. Let her get dressed up as Elsa for Christmas, or when you go to the candlelight mass and she's dressed like Elsa, leave her alone. It's over by 6. Absolutely over, when they get control, when they can handle life a little bit better. Okay, boys are in scooters everywhere, all over the country. They're on these little crazy motorized scooters. They cannot stop, but they're not on their cell phones. They're not on their tablets. They're outside. They look demonic, but they're not on devices. Parents are thrilled because once they come inside, they get on Minecraft and their eyes glaze over. So don't be upset if your grandson is missing in action on the street all day. He's not getting in trouble, although I have seen little gangs of boys doing it. But they don't stop and talk. They don't smoke. They don't do anything. They drive like the wind. It is better than what little girls are doing, which is Sephora, okay? Like the Sephora thing is big, and it's going to seem so weird to you that your 4th grader is talking about skincare. It's popular influencers, and I've seen them, and they are so adorable. They're like older sisters. And I had friends with older sisters, and I would have done whatever they wanted. So they're looking at 15 to 22-year-olds who are telling them what to do. And they're following. And that's what this is. And Sephora is the Vatican of all goodness, of everything they ever wanted. But they've been brainwashed on the internet. I don't think there's anything you can do about it. Then the other thing that they all want to do, if you want to get them off their cell phones and you're sitting and staring at your grandkid and you flew across the country and they can't look up from anything they're doing, take them to the movies. I know it sounds weird, but you can't have any devices at the movie theater, and you will be experiencing something with them. They can hardly sit still and keep off their devices at home if you're watching a movie at home. You have to go where it's verboten to be on a device. Take them to one of those trampoline parks. Take them to Starbucks. Tell them to leave their device at home, and you'll take them to Starbucks. For some reason, I don't know how Starbucks became a thing for kids. The place is filled with kids. So expensive. So insane. I've tasted these drinks. I don't get it. They think there's less than 100 calories in all of them, and I don't see it. The whipped cream thing is very high on the top. Whatever. Boys love it too. Girls love it more. All right? And Chick-fil-A, I have no idea why that's a big deal. Just tell them if they leave their device and they'll give you 45 minutes or 1 hour, you will do something with them. And when they put the device down, it takes 5 to 10 minutes for their eyes to unglaze over, for them to look out the window, and for them to talk to you. It's scary. They look like zombies coming back to life. But do it. You'll get a good half an hour before you get on a plane all the way back to Milwaukee. It'll be worth it. Okay, so the thing with the shelf on the elf. I mean, the elf on the shelf. The shelved elf. A lot of people, there was a little boy who had it last year. He was three the first year. Skeleton. There was a skeleton for Halloween. He thought it was the elf. Dead. And now bones. People are trying to figure out how to kill them. There have been some sightings, some stories like about an elf that got killed. Okay, if they don't go back to the North Pole and they all don't have enough power to go back, they have nothing else to do for an entire year, and Santa can't help them. One guy, one elf, he was found dead in Barbie's dream house. Before he died, he said he was only going to ask Barbie her age, her real age. Another elf confused the garbage disposal for a hot tub. Another elf was found dead, stuffed in an Easy Bake Oven. One was put in a box and sent back to the North Pole in June. Okay, now here are some elf jokes. And elves don't think this is funny, any of these jokes. Elves are very sensitive. It takes them a month and a half to get over everything that they heard and learned before Christmas. It's like they have to go into one of those chambers like you were on the moon. They find children so irritating and ratting on them every night. All they do is focus on the bad stuff. So they can hardly listen to these jokes. Like, they get offended by these. Okay, they get offended by what kind of music do elves listen to? Rap music. That's offensive. What about photos? Their photos are elfies. Where do elves go to dance? Christmas balls. Why are they so sensitive? That's not bad. An elf car is a Toyota. That's not even offensive. What kind of bread do they use for sandwiches? Shortbread. What kind of cakes? Shortcakes. Oh, come on. That's not terrible. The Santa sleigh. Okay? Santa has a sleigh. When they have to travel in bulk, the elves go in the Toyota minivan. Okay? That makes sense. It's not terrible. Why is Santa so rich? Now, this is a good question. I asked myself this a million times when I was young. Where does all this money come from for all these toys and all these factories? I couldn't figure it out. Santa is an elf-made man. That's actually interesting. Athletes get athlete foot. Athletes get athlete's foot. Elves get mistletoe. That's pretty bad. I would be offended by that. What do the elves call it when they all clap for Santa? Santa Claus. Okay? I know. It's not bad. You could tell your grandchildren those jokes. Just make sure that the elf on the shelf is in a different room. He can't see everything. I think that's why these kids aren't that nervous. They figure out where he is. He's in the living room. Okay, I'm going to hit my sister in my bedroom. Like, I don't know why kids are not more nervous about this. I was terrified. Just listening to Santa's song. He knows when you've been good or bad. He knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I didn't have any problem falling asleep when I was 4. But good or bad? Oh my God, I had anxiety every single Christmas Eve that he was going to come. If I thought he had an elf on the shelf ratting on me every day, for God knows what. I mean, it's not like there's a doctrine on what's bad and what's good and what's okay. Just like with Santa. I thought being bad was just not finishing your peas at dinner. I couldn't keep the pressure. It was the anxiety-ridden child. But an elf on the shelf is so much worse. And the cinnamon, mother's cleaning. You can't clean the couch. You cannot get cinnamon off. You keep it dry, get your vacuum cleaner. It's still there. If it gets wet, even just a little sweat, anything, it's going to spread. They find stains in February. It's horrible. Just get rid of the cinnamon in your house. and tell them that sugar works too. Sugar's fine. It's white. Nothing's going to happen. This cinnamon thing is huge, and it's driving women out of their minds. So, that's all I've got. A couple of health jokes. The thing about Elsa is big, and I totally understand it. I couldn't figure out what this whole power thing was. The power she's saying is, I can't do better than this. And that's what every 3-year-old wants you to know. This is the best I can do. And it's flawed, and I look ridiculous, just like Elsa. But look at my dress, and look at my jewels. It's all going to be okay, Mom. So, that's what I've got. For some reason, I'm very sane today. Halfway putting up the Christmas tree, which is always fun. Finding all those beautiful things. Going to a little thing at a grammar school filled with lovely kids. Life is good. So I'll probably have a car accident on my way to my friend's house. It's wet, rainy, horrible. Okay, less sane, less happy, little anxiety-ridden, comfortable now. I will be back. Bye-bye.
They fly so high, nearly reach the sky.